Alright, so in this video we are going to be finding the gradient of a line. So on this first page, what I've got here is that I've got a graph connecting 2 points, and then I've got a note of what the old formula that you may have used before. So the gradient equals the vertical over horizontal, or you might have had up over across. And we're going to use this first and then look to see how we can maybe improve that formula to make it a little bit better and a little bit more flexible for our uses. So to start off with, the vertical, I need to figure out how high my sort of like triangle here is that I have. So the vertical, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is going to be a height of 4. And then my horizontal is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've gone across by 7. So there's my gradient, 4 over 7. Now here it was easy enough for me to do it because I've got this graph all drawn out, I've got my lines all set up, but that's not always going to be possible, and most of the time you are just going to be given 2 points, 2 coordinates without the graph. So we need to look to see how we can improve this formula. So looking at the numbers, let's first just look at our bottom number here of 7. So if I just look at my x coordinates, which give me an idea of how far across something is, one of my x coordinates is 10 and the other one is 3. And if I do 10 take away 3, that is going to give me that 7. Similar idea here with the 4. My highest point there is 7 and my lowest point is 3. And if I do 7 take away 3, that is going to give me 4. So with that in mind, we can see if I take away one of my x coordinates from the other and one of my y coordinates from the other, that can give my numbers to figure out my gradient. So, in general, when given 2 points, and I'm going to call these x1, y1, and x2, y2, we can find the gradient of a line with the following equation. And that equation is the gradient m is equal to our second y coordinate, take away our first one, all over our second x coordinate, take away our first x coordinate. And we can see that if I think about these being my x1 and my y1, and here is my x2, and that's my y2. When I do 7 take away 3, that gives me the 4. And when I do 10 take away 3, that gives me the 7. So let's now use this in practice. So, got 4 points, 4 sets of points here, and I want to find the equation, the gradient for all of them. So first thing I want to do is write out my formula. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. A, that's my first x coordinate, my first y coordinate, second x coordinate, and then second y coordinate. So that's going to be 14 take away 8 over 4 take away 2. And that is just going to become 6 over 3. And then 6 divided by 3 is 3. Not 3, is... what am I doing? 4 take away 2 is not 3. 4 take away 2 is 2. Then 6 divided by 2 is 3. There we go. I knew what the final answer was and it just kind of threw me off. Alright, so the next 2 points then. So again, writing out my formula. I've got y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I've got x1, y1. That'll be x2, y2. So it's going to be 10 take away 5 over minus 2 take away 3. So that's going to be 5 on the top over negative 5. 5 divided by negative 5 is just going to be negative 1. And again, writing out my formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, labeling my points. So here's my first set, here's my second set. And so I'm going to have 2 take away 6 over 4 take away. Now when I've got a double negative, I personally like to put it in brackets because it just makes it a little bit clearer for me. So 2 take away 6 is negative 4. 4 take away negative 1, that's going to turn to a positive, so that's just going to become 5. And I can't simplify that, so I'll leave that as is. And then my last one, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's my first x coordinate, y coordinate, second. So I've got negative 10 take away negative 4 all over negative 5 take away 0. So negative 10 take away negative 4, so that's going to be negative 10 plus 4, which is going to give us negative 6. Then negative 5 take away 0 is negative 5. But then always watch out, these two negatives here, essentially they're going to both disappear and become positives. So my final answer is 6 over 5. So let me know if there are any issues, but that's the general gist of now finding the gradient of a line.